Brandon, what was your reaction to what you just heard?
How uncomfortable he was. Why is everybody so uncomfortable when the player start getting a little bit more power? That's what we are seeing here. There is a shift in power. That's what we're seeing. Going back to last year, man, I'm not going to go into all the bad stuff because I truly believe this is a good thing. And I think it was Wilds or maybe it was Joy yesterday that said, look, it's the 1% of the 1%. There's a couple guys out there that should have a seat at the table that say, look, Jake Kumerow is my guy. I like Jake Kumerow. We can get it done together. I don't care what you think, but that is my guy. I'm the one out here that got to get the job done. Y'all can do everything y'all want in the boardroom. Y'all can do anything y'all want in the draft. But when we get on this field, you got to be able to listen to me because I see things differently than you guys see. I'm right here. So when you take Jake Kumerow and you say, oh, bye, and you don't talk to him, that's a problem. And the same thing with Jordy Nelson, the same thing with James Jones, the same thing with Randall Cobb. Now Randall Cobb's back. So you see that he was uncomfortable talking about, I don't think Aaron Rodgers understood, why we made some of those moves we made, and it's we got to do a better job explaining. That's basically what he said. No, buddy, what Aaron Rodgers is saying is the moves you made was terrible. The moves you made no sense. So now, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to be out of there, right? That's what he's saying. So now it's on Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb to go out there, get the job done so it doesn't blow up in their face and people look like, well, all right, Aaron, you asked for this, but you guys aren't getting the job done. Randall Cobb isn't helping you out. Randall Cobb isn't making your team better. So I think it's now the pressure's on Aaron Rodgers. And if he delivers, he's not only going to put himself in a better position, but he's going to put other quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, other quarterbacks like Josh Allen in better position because of the success he's going to have. We saw this with Tom Brady, sure. Wilds. So what they got to do is on third down, the tight red, situational football is when he has to thrive. Randall Cobb is not going to come in and have 1,000 yards. Randall Cobb is, maybe he could potentially. 2014, he had 1,200 with Aaron Rodgers. But don't expect that.
Hang on.
Don't expect Randall Cobb to come in and light it up. What you need to see is in the toughest moments, the tightest windows, will Randall Cobb come in and deliver? That's what we need to see.
All right, so my takeaway was different, Brandon. My takeaway was that we applauded Aaron Rodgers for transparency, but oddly, I am not going to applaud Brian Gutekunst for transparency because he was very transparent about two things. One, he did not relinquish any control. He still controls the situation.
No relinquish.
And two, he doesn't really want Randall Cobb on the team. If it was up to him, Randall Cobb would not be on the squad. So, yeah, transparency, great for the players. But if you're in the management, you know what you should do? Manage, buddy. It's called management. It's a noun and a verb. You got to manage. You manage the message. So here's what you can do. Right. Hey, are you relinquishing control? I don't even view it like that. I don't view it like that, to be honest. Great question. I don't view it about who has control. I'm laser focused on winning. And you know who else is? Aaron Rodgers. And you know who else is? Randall Cobb. So the fact that we're all laser focused on winning, that's the only thing I'm concerned about. Instead, you're like, I didn't relinquish any control. Yeah, Randall Cobb's here. It was important to Aaron. Was it important to you? Like, I would, if it was important to me and I have all the control, I would have brought him in already. I'm not asking for a Juilliard-esque Meryl Streep performance, Broussard.
Correct.
I am asking to manage a message to the media and to your own players and other management that you're working with. And overall, I am not awarding him the Academy Award for management or acting.
I'm with that, Wilds. Look, I'm going to say Brian Gutekunst one time. Henceforth, he is known as Goody. All right, I'm calling him Goody. All right, what Goody really wanted to say
can't do that.
Hey, signing Randall Cobb isn't hard, but you waiting on Aaron Rodgers' hand and foot for the rest of the season. That's what's going to make my job hard. That's what he really wanted to say. Right. But look, all jokes aside, I think you're right, Wilds. He was being honest and transparent. And I get where he's coming from. No, Aaron Rodgers is not running the show. All right, he's not making all the personnel decisions. I don't think that's what Rodgers wants. I think the situation is Rodgers now. His opinion is being valued. They're coming to him to hear, what do you think about this player? You know, what do you think about this receiver? What we are listening to your opinion. You now have input. It should have been that way from day one, or at least recently, once he became an all-pro quarterback. It should have been that way for years with Aaron Rodgers. Now it is, and this is a good thing. What really makes Gutekunst's job hard is that it's all out in the media that he is the primary reason that Aaron Rodgers doesn't like the Green Bay Packers organization. That's what makes his job hard, is that all of that pressure is now on him. So other than that, though, I think he was being honest and transparent. You're right, Wilds. It doesn't play that well in the media. But, yeah, now there's a little bit of give and take with Aaron Rodgers. And I think this is healthy. It should always been this way.
Rightfully so. And, guys, look, that's my job, is to go back and pull on my experience, you know, and playing in the league, right? I go back to Chicago, and we had Jay Cutler. But before I even got to Chicago, I'm sitting down here in Miami, Florida, playing for the Dolphins. We weren't doing well. We were terrible. And then I was looking at the Chicago Bears play Sunday Night Football, and they weren't doing well, and they were terrible. And then I called Jay Cutler after the game because he just got sacked like 7-8 times. I'm talking about bruises all over the place. I'm like, buddy, you know, man, I miss you from our Denver Bronco days, man. I'm just calling just to say I miss you, I love you, and also, man, just hanging out. That was a tough game. There was nothing you can do. You had no time. And then also, the Mike Martz system, they having you drop back 7 steps with that type of offensive line. It's just not going to work. Just hang in there, man. Just hang in there. We all see it. The world see it. What happened after that year? Jay Cutler went to management, said, I need an X receiver. Oh, they said, okay, Jay, what X receiver do you want in the draft, or who's out there in free agency? And he said, no, I don't need any of those X receivers. I need my guy, Brandon Marshall. So what did he do? That Phil Emery and company came and got me. Then they went and got Martellus Bennett. Then they went and got Alshon Jeffrey. They listened to Jay Cutler, and they wanted him to have a seat at the table when it came to the draft. They brought in Alshon Jeffrey. And then they paid Matt Forte. And what happened? We became the number 1 Chicago Bears offense in the history of the organization. Why? Because they listened to their quarterback. Now, obviously, we're not Aaron Rodgers, not Tom Brady. We didn't win a championship, do anything like that. But when you have a franchise quarterback and you have a face of the franchise, a guy that you're paying millions of dollars, you better listen. And so that's just one example, but it happens throughout the entire league with some of our league's best, especially at the quarterback position.
So I have a question for you, Brandon. I don't want to get too deep into your wallet here, but when you knew that Jay Cutler had specifically recruited you from Miami to Chicago, do you feel, or in your agent, I don't know who it was at the time, did you feel like you had extra leverage there that you could sort of put your thumb on the scale to get more than market value because they really wanted you? And the reason I ask is, like, is that the reason why Gutekunst is pushing back on some quarterback involvement? Because it messes up the market once you know that your star player is sort of leveraging, or the leverage situation changes. Does that make sense?
No, it's simple, Wilds. You ball out, you have power. Point blanks, period. That's it. Now, when your play slip, they ask you to get out or they ask you to take a pay cut. So for me, yes, I felt like I had a lot of leverage, and I was able to not only, get a better contract when I got there because they end up extending me, but they also listened to me on other things. They also listened to me when it came to practice. They also listened to me when it came to different things we may need it in the weight room. Why? Because I was coming off a 1,500-yard year. I was an all-pro, 14 touchdowns, and so they're like, okay, this works. So we want you to sit here and talk to us about some of the things that you see. So it's not about, money and those things. It's all about, are you a baller? Can you get the job done?
Got you.
If you're not balling, Chris, they don't care. They're not going to listen to you. You got to ball.
No, right. And look, again, this is a healthy situation. And if they do this all year, listen to Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't mean you got to do everything he wants. All right, you shouldn't do everything he wants. And Aaron Rodgers shouldn't want ultimate say because, Brandon, I think you know this, that could cause problems in the locker room. If guys think you have the
100%.
ultimate say and you got the final say, now if it doesn't work out for me with the front office, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at my quarterback. Why didn't you go to bat for me?
Right.
So it has to stay at a healthy level where they listen to him and, you know, he gives his input, but that doesn't mean they're going to do everything he wants. And the other thing is Gutekunst, this may not be his nature. Apparently it isn't, right? He wanted to come in there with the iron fist of last year, and he runs the team, and it's my show, and you just play football. So he's going to have to get over that, because if this works out this year, maybe you have a chance of keeping Aaron Rodgers for the long term.
Right. Right.
I think you make a pretty good point, because I walked away from that Gutekunst press conference and I said, this is not a healthy situation. The general manager is obviously disgruntled. He feels like, whether he says it or not, he relinquished some power. He's got to live with this all season. Does this work in their favor? Are they both motivated to come together, or is this a rift that can no longer come? But I hear what you're saying, Broussard. Maybe it can be healthy. Maybe it turns into some W's for this team. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.